Hi there. In today's video, we're going to create this interactive dashboard in Power BI. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that the link to the dataset for this tutorial is in the description below. So the first thing we're going to do is connect our data. So I'm not going to select any of these options. I'm just going to get data from another source. And I'm going to select text/CSV, and then I'm going to connect. Now Power BI is open the last directory I used. Now you can change this to navigate to where your downloaded dataset is. So I'm going to select this retail store sales, and I'm going to open that. And I'll just give it a moment. So let's take a moment to look at our data sets. We're just going to look at the rows. We have receipt ID, we have the purchase date, store name, city, state, region, customer segment. I'm just going to scroll to the side. We have category, subcategory, quantity, unit price, and sales. The unit price is quantity multiplied by unit price, and that's how we have the sales. We have the discounts, we have profit, and we have payment method. We're not going to do any transformation. We're just going to go ahead and load our data. And we're just going to give that a moment to load. So now that we have our data, before we begin, I'm going to go to the table view, and I'm going to go to this date option, this date column here, and I'm going to change the format. The data type is already on date. I'm just going to select this drop down, and I'm going to set it to day, month, year. If you use a different date format in your region, you can go ahead and set it to that. This is the date we typically use. Now I'm just going to scroll to the right hand side, and I'm going to select the unit price column, and I'm going to change the format to currency. I'm also going to change the sales column to currency as well. And finally, I'm going to select profit, and I'm going to change that to currency. And we are done with that. We are going to return back to our report view. So what we're going to do next is create KPIs. I'm going to insert a card, and I'm just going to click on that, and I have a card. I'm going to minimize the filters, and I'm just going to move this like so. So the first KPI we're going to work on is our total sales. So I'm just going to go to the sales column, and I'm going to drag it to this field here, and we can see our total sales for the duration of this period in our data set, and the sales is $1.4 million. I'm going to click outside, create another card, just going to move it here and just minimize it. Next, we're going to look at our total profit. So I'm going to select profits and drag that to fields. And this is our profit. Let's expand this so we can see. And our profit is $194,000. And finally, we're going to look at total quantity of products in our data set. So we're going to move this here, minimize, just minimize this, and then we're going to grab quantity, and we're going to place it in this field here. And the quantity of items in our data set is 2,697. You can add more KPIs if you want, but if this was a two-page dashboard, there was so much more we can do with this data, but I want to keep things as short as possible, so we're going to limit it to a one-page data set. But if it was if we are going to do 2 pages, you can have a lot more KPIs. But for now, these are the three we are going to work with for this particular video. Now that we are done with the KPIs, we are going to move on to our first chart. So we're going to use a line chart. So I'm just going to select that. I'm just going to move this to the side. So what I'm going to do is grab our sales, and I'm going to put it in the y-axis, and then I'm going to select our purchase date and put it here. I'm going to remove day and I'm going to remove quarter. And with this, we have our sales by year and month. So we're just looking at the sales for this particular month. We can't see everything because of spacing. Now I just want to show you something. It happens sometimes, and in case you have this, maybe you run into this issue, I'm going to create another line chart. This time I'm going to put the purchase dates first, and then I'm going to go to the y-axis and I'm going to put sales there. You may have this issue. Now I'm going to remove day and quarter. Now even though I have these two, they are technically the same thing. You may have this straight line. If that's what you're having, just put the sales in the y-axis first before you put your purchase date in the x-axis. It happens sometimes. Sometimes it just stay as a single dot. Sometimes it won't even do anything. I don't know why that's the case. But in case you run into that issue, maybe you decided to put your dates first and then your sales later in the y-axis. If you run into this issue, that's why. So just take everything out. Put your sales first in the y-axis, then put your date in the x-axis, remove the day and remove the quarter, and you have this. The next item we're going to look at is the profit by category. I'm going to select the stacked column chart and I'm going to bring this here. Next, what I'm going to do is grab our profits here and we're going to put it in the y-axis, and then I'm going to select our category and I'm going to put it in the x-axis, and we can see that clothing has the highest profit while electronics has the lower profit. Just going to reduce this. I'm going to just grab this handle here and reduce that. The next thing we're going to look at is the sales, and we're going to break it down by the subcategory. So we've looked at the profit by categories, but this I want to look at just the sales. So this time I'm going to use a stacked bar chart and I'm going to select this and I am going to put this here. Let me extend it a bit. So what we're going to put in the y-axis, excuse me, we're going to grab our, want to look at sales, not profit. I'm going to grab the sales and I'm going to put that in the y-axis. No, sorry, I'm going to put it in the x-axis. Now I'm going to select our category once more and I'm going to put it in the y-axis. Gets a bit confusing when you're working with the other direction. I'm going to scroll down and in the legend I'm going to put subcategory. So I'm going to select the subcategory and I'm going to put it in legend. And now we can look at the breakdown of each category. And in this category, including we have kids, we have men, and then we have women. In the groceries category, we have the subcategory dairy, fruits, snacks, and vegetables. And we can also look at kitchen, which has decor, furniture, utensils, and electronics. We have accessories, appliances, and phones. And that is the breakdown of sales by category and subcategory. Our next visual is going to be a stacked column chart, and this time we're going to be looking at the top performing states. Once you look at the performance by states, it's not necessarily the top performing state because we're going to leave all the states in the data set. Let's just look at everything. So in the x-axis, select I'm going to select states, and in the y-axis I'm going to select sales, and I'm going to put it here, and we can see all the states performance. That's all the states in our data set. We can see their performance, and it's already in descending order. So Florida has the highest sales, while Georgia has the lowest sales. Next, we're going to look at store-wise sales performance. So once again, a stacked column chart will do. Insert that there. We're going to go to store name. We're going to select store name, move store name to the x-axis, and we're going to grab sales and put it in the y-axis, and we can see the store-wise performance of our data sets. And Urban Mart is the highest performing, while Value Hub is the lowest performing store. Next, we're going to look at the sales distribution by customer segment. So we're going to use a donut chart for this. I'm going to click this and insert a donut chart. So for the legend, I'm going to select customer segment and drag it to legend, and I'm also going to grab sales and put it in values. And there we have that. We're just going to minimize this a bit so we can create space for one more chart, another donut chart to be specific. I'm going to click outside of that, insert another donut chart, and what we're going to do this time, we want to look at the payment method preferences of our customers. So I'm going to select payment method and put it in legend, and then I'm going to grab sales and put it in values, and we can see that most of our customers prefer bank transfer. Then next is online, credit card, then finally cash. And now we can see the distribution of different payment methods. And with that, we have created all our visuals and graphs as well as our KPIs for our dashboard. Now we're going to move on to building the dashboard proper. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the dimensions of these three cards. So I'm just going to hold shift and select all three of them. Go to format your visual, go to format visual tab, and I'm going to select general. Go to properties, and I'm going to change the height to 98, and the width will be 219. We're going to have that as 219. Next, I'm going to go back to visual, and I'm going to change the callout value, the text size to 32, like so. I'm going to change the color to black, and yeah, that's it for now. I'm not going to turn off the category label because just in case we turn it off, we don't want to forget what we are working on. So for that part, we're going to do that individually. Before as we leave this particular section, let's just go back to general, and I'm going to turn on the title for all of them, expand it. But even before we do that, I'm going to change the text color to black and horizontal alignment, and I'm just going to write title so that we have some text there for all three. This is just a placeholder because I don't want us to come and start trying to edit the text for each one. I want to save as much time as possible. But enough talking. I'm just going to select anywhere to exit, and we are done with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this to the side like so. Yeah. And I'm going to insert a text box. So we are in the insert tab as of now. If you're not, just come to the insert tab, and I'm going to go to text box, and now we have this text box, and I'm going to write the heading for our dashboard. I'm going to type retail, no, retail performance dashboard. There we go. And I'm just going to select the text box and move it. I'm going to select everything and I'm going to change the font size to 32, and I'm just going to expand this till anywhere really. And I'm just going to minimize this as well, like so. And I'm going to just click anywhere on the chart. And next I'm going to insert yet another text box. So I'm going to go to insert, select text box, and we have another text box. Now I'm going to type in our subheading. Let me just move this a bit. I'm going to type in this subheading, or you could call it maybe a brief description of our datasets, and it's comprehensive overview of sales, profits, and customer insights across all store locations. And we're going to have the range for 2024 to 2025, and I'm going to close that. I'm going to leave the text size as it is, and I'm going to expand this like so, and I'm going to minimize this as well, and I'm just going to grab it and move it to the bottom of this one. Now we're going to move on to reformatting. Let's start with this. um, we're going to start with these KPIs first. So I'm going to select this KPI, and we formatted the callout value, the size, and all that. So we just need to go to general so that we can change the title. So the title for the first KPI is total sales. Yeah, and yeah, that's it for the title. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a visual border. Now this makes, we're going to remove the border afterward. If you want to keep it after the project, that's fine. But I'm just adding a border so that I can see where everything is, because I want, none of my charts are going to have any border at all. So there's not going to be any separation. I just want to see where everything goes. So I'm going to open effects, and I'm going to turn on visual border, and I'm not going to change anything. Now I'm just going to go back to visual once again, turn off the category label. I tend to leave that for last so that I'll know what it is. If you turned it off for whatever reason before you started and you want to figure out, you're not quite sure, just go back to the visual tab where it is, and you can see what the field is for it, and you can say, oh, this is the sum of sales, which means this is the total sales, so you can figure it out. But I tend to leave it for last. I'm going to move on to the next one, and we can see sum of profit. So we know that this is the total profit, and I'm going to expand, go to general, and then expand title, and I'm going to make this total profit, and I'm going to minimize this. Once again, I'll go to the effects and turn on visual border. Then finally go to visual, go to category label, and turn it off. Finally, select this third one, and we are going to go to general, the title. Well, while we're already here, let's just turn on the visual border, and I'm just going to expand the title, and I'm going to change the title to total quantity. like so. And I'm going to go back to visual and turn off the category label. And with that, we're done with the, now let me exit. And now you can see that these three KPIs have a visual border, so I can know that they are not overlapping because none of them have borders. This I'm not going to put anything there, but for now we are done with our KPIs. Now for the next chart, we're going to start with the sales by, we're going to look at the sales trend. So I'm just going to select that, go to format visual, we're going to go to the format visual tab, and I'm going to expand the x-axis, and I'm just going to turn off the title, close this, go to the y-axis, and then title, we're going to turn off the title as well, and I'm going to close this. For the, now we're going to go to lines, and I want to change the color of the line. I'm going to expand this, and now we'll go down and then we'll expand color. I'm going to go to my notepad, and I'm going to use this orange color. These are the hex codes for the colors I'm going to use in this video. So you can go ahead and pause it to see them, but I'll keep opening it so you can see them as well. I'm I'm going with this orange as the F65824, and I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to come to color, more colors, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to change it to this orange color, and I'm going to minimize lines. Next, I'm going to go to markers. I'm using the markers because we have multiple months here and we can't see them. Like we can see August, but August isn't showing up here. So I'm going to use the markers to make it easier to understand that there are more months, or you can tell, like for this one you can tell there's a month, but in between here there's actually one, but it's showing here, but you know, it makes things easier to see. So I'm just going to open markers, and I'm going to select this option, show for all categories, that's in the categories, and now it's defaulted to that orange color. I want to use a green color, so I'm going to go to notes. I'm going to copy this dark green, this 1A7259, and I'm going to copy this hex code, and I'm going to come to colors and expand colors, go to more colors, and I'm going to paste that here. And now we have these markers to indicate the months, and now we can see our markers. Next, we're going to just minimize this, and we're going to go to general, and for the properties I'm going to change the height to 310, and for the width it will be 465, 465, and it's currently overlapping with the other one. No worries, I'm going to minimize this. For the effect, I'm going to, no, for the title, sorry, I'm going to change the title. So I'm just going to highlight the text, and I'm going to write sales trend, like so. I'm also going to change the position of our title to, we're going to go to horizontal alignment. I will change it to center. So we have the title of our charts in the center of our charts. Yeah. So I'm just going to minimize all of this. And finally, this is going to be temporary, but just like we did with the cards, I just want to know where everything is, so that I won't have charts overlapping each other. So I'm just going to turn on the visual border. We're not going to change anything, and we are done with the sales trend chart. Let me just select on any chart so we can see this. This is currently overlapping. So yeah, that is our sales. No, I thought I turned on the, give me a moment. I mess up somewhere? This is why it's good to, no, I didn't. So I missed that. So this is why when it's selected, I tend to click out of it to make sure that whatever set that I applied on it, I actually did. So I thought I turned on the border, but I didn't. So that's good practice. Don't just leave it selected and just move on. Click out of it and then take a moment to look at it. And I'm happy with this. Next, we're going to format the profit by category chart. So I'm just going to move this like so. And first, let's go to the visual tab. I'm going to scroll upward, go to the x-axis, and we are going to turn off the title for the x-axis, minimize, expand the y-axis, scroll down, turn off the title for the y-axis, minimize that as well. And we're going to go to columns, and we're going to change the color of these columns to a dark green color. So we're going to select this green color, and we are done for this particular part. Next, we're going to go to general and expand properties. In properties, I'm going to change the height to 310 and the width to 295, like so. And I'm going to minimize properties as well. I'm going to expand titles, now title, and I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to type total profits by product category, like so. And I'm just going to click and minimize. No, sorry, I'm going to scroll down and change the horizontal alignment to center. And I'm just going to this time minimize, then open, expand the effects tab, and we are going to go to visual border and turn on the border. We're not changing anything, and once more I'm going to click out of it. Yeah, and we have a visual border around our chart. And with that, we are done with the total profit by product category chart. Now the next chart we're going to work on is the sales by category and subcategory. So just going to move this a bit. Now what I'm going to do is go to the visual tab, expand the y-axis, and we are going to turn off the title. Minimize this, expand the x-axis, turn off the title as well. And we're going to go to the legend, and we are just going to turn that off. We don't need that. We can just hover our mouse over this and we can get the legend. Now for the bars, I'm going to expand the bars. Expand the bars. So this time we're going to eyeball things a bit. I don't want to come here, figure out what is there, and then figure out the color. So what I'm going to do is, for the series, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select the first item, which is accessories. And accessories is this blue color. So I'm just going to change this to a green color, and as you can see, this one has changed to green. Next, select the drop down, click the next item, and appliances just so happens to be next to that. So I'm just going to expand this, make it this orange color. Expand this series once more, click dairy. Now this time this orange color is actually in groceries. We're going to make it that dark green color. So it's going to be green, and you can see that this, that's dairy, in groceries has changed to green. Expand it, go to decor, and we have this, I think is it maroon, or I don't know, plum, I don't know, but this color, we can see that this is decor. We're going to change that to green as well. Next, expand this as well, go to fruits, and we have this pink color, and it's this one. So I'm going to change it to orange. Expand this once more, go to the next item, furniture, and furniture is this purple, I guess. It's going to be the orange color, like so. Expand this again, go to kids, and kids is including, and we can tell our kids is here, change it to green. Expand this, and men, this is men, we're going to change it to our preferred orange color. Expand this again, phones, and phones is this dark color. Now we're going to introduce a new color. Not really new, if you've looked at the notepad you've seen it. We're going to go with this light pink color. And I'm going to copy all of this, Ctrl C to copy that, and I'm going to come to colors, more colors, Ctrl V, and we have the pink color. Expand this once more, go to snacks, and snacks, we're going to use this pink color as well. Expand once more, utensils, going to be pink as well. Expand vegetables. Now vegetables is a fourth item, so we're going to use a fourth color for this also. And I'm going to use this light green color. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to expand this, go to more colors. I'm going to paste this C1E0BF, and that's the light green color. And for the final item, we have women, and the women will be this pink color. Now we have this column chart like so, and I'm just going to minimize this bar. Next, we're going to go to general. I'm going to change the height, just the height. I'm going to change the height to 310, like so. And for the width, I'm just going to expand it till it comes to the edge. Now I'm just making sure that no charts are overlapping, but instead they are side to side. So we're not done with this as well. Next, still going to go back to our visual. We're going to format visuals. This time, expand title, and we're going to change the title. And this is going to be the sales breakdown by category and subcategory. By category and subcategory. Like so. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to change the horizontal alignment to center. And I'm going to minimize this. Finally, let's go to effects, turn on the visual border to make editing, to make everything visible and legible. So I'm just going to select a chart far away from it, and here we have our chart with a border, and we are done with that particular chart. Next, we're going to work on the sales by state chart. So before I start with that, I'm just going to select these three, and I'm just going to move them upward so we can have a bit more space to work with. I'm going to select these four, and I'm going to move them up like so. So select the sales by state chart. That's the one by the bottom right corner. I'm going to expand the x-axis, and then I'm going to turn off the title. Minimize, expand the y-axis, turn off the title as well. Close this. We're going to go to columns, change the color to that dark green color. We're done with this part. Next, we're going to move on to general and expand properties. We're going to change the height to 310 like so, and it's not going all the way to 310 because of this one. So I'm just going to select all these charts and move it up like so. Yep. And I'm going to select all of these as well, and I'm just going to move it like this, and it's giving me a bit of issue. I'm just going to, you know what, I'll just do that one by one. It's really fighting me on this. I'm just going to move this up here. So I'm going to go back to general. I'm going to increase the height to 310. The width will be 465. Yeah. And I'm just going to minimize properties. For the title, we're going to change this to sales by state. We don't need to say top performing, or because we are displaying all the states. Then I'm going to, before we exit from title, let's scroll down, go to horizontal alignment, and change it to center. Minimize this as well. Effects, we're going to add a visual border, and I'm just going to click off to see, yeah, everything looks good, and we are done with the sales by state. Next, we're going to work on the sales by store. So I'm just going to move this here and go to the visual tab, expand the x-axis, and we are going to turn off the title for the x-axis. Minimize this, expand the y-axis, scroll down, minimize the title as well. Minimize this. Next, we're going to go to column, expand this, and we're going to go down to color, expand this also, and then select this dark green color we've been using. And we're just going to minimize this. Next, we're going to go to the general tab, select this, and in properties, we're going to expand this, and we're going to make the height 310, and the width will be 295, like so. And then we are just going to minimize properties, expand title, expand this title as well, change it to store-wise sales performance. I'm going to just click off now. We're going to go down, horizontal alignment, make the center, and then I'm going to minimize title. Now expand effects if it's not for you, scroll down, turn on visual border, and with that we are done for this. Once again, click out to make sure that, yeah, it looks good. Next, we're going to work on the sales by customer segment. So I'm just going to move this like so, and I'm going to come to the visual tab under the format visual section. So I'm going to expand the legend, and I'm going to change the position to top center. Next, I'm going to turn off the title for the legend. Then I'm just going to minimize this. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. So I'm going to go to slices, and I'm going to, for the series, I'm going to expand this, select the first option, which is corporate, then expand color, change the color to this green, expand the series again, go to home office, change the color to orange. Then next we're going to select this once more, click consumer, and then we're going to change the color to pink, and we are done with this part. Now we're going to go to general, and we're going to expand properties. We're going to change the height to 310, like so, and for the width will be 258. Yeah, then we're just going to click on this to make sure. Yeah, I'm going to minimize this, go to title, expand title, and we're going to change the title. And you know what, instead of deleting everything, I'm just going to leave customer segment, because customer segment is still going to be in our title. We'll just see, look at sales distribution by customer segment, and I'm going to scroll down and change the horizontal alignment to center. Then I'm just going to minimize this, go to effects, turn on visual border. This probably has gotten boring for you, but we are at the final item. We're just going to select this one, and I won't even bother doing anything since I can see the borders of everything around it. I'm just going to expand it like so. So go to visual, expand the legend, we'll go to title, and we're going to turn off the title for the legend, expand options, and we're going to change the position to top center, minimize the legend, Let's go to slices and we are going to click on this, select bank transfer. Click on this, change it to dark green, expand this, select online payments, expand this, choose the orange color, expand this as well. Credit card is going to be pink, and then finally cash is going to be that light green color as well. Yeah, we're done with this part. Now we're going to go to general. We're not going to look at properties, expand the title, and we're going to change the title. So the title for this is sales by payment method preference, like so. Now I'm going to scroll down, go to horizontal alignment, click center, and we're going to minimize title. No need for the visual border this time. So let's see how our chart looks like. So I'm just going to, we're done with this. So I'm just going to click minimize that so that I can have more space, and I'm going to click out of here, and the chart looks good. And the reason why I created these visual borders is so that I don't want to start struggling to figure out where everything goes where. And if it seems like you can see some of them, it's not like they're not meeting, that's not a problem for me anyway, because I'm going to remove the borders. Now if you like it like this, you can go ahead and add a visual border for this one so you can have this line separating all the components of our dashboard. But I want it to have no borders at all or no lines, and I just want it to be this very plain, very simple dashboard. So what I'm going to do is expand this again. I said we're done, but not really. I just wanted to look at it. I'm going to select these three items, go to Format Visual tab, go to General, expand effects, and I'm going to turn off the visual border. Now these three charts are the same, so Power BI allows you to modify the same type of charts at the same time. I'm going to hold Shift, select all of them while I'm still on this tab, turn off visual border, select the pie chart, once again turn it off, select this one, turn it off, and I'm going to select this one and I'm going to turn it off, and there we have it. If you, once again, I like how clean, and I just like how everything is just kind of free floating essentially. So with that, we are done with our retail performance dashboard. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you've learned something new. But with that said, this is the end of the video. Have a great day and take care.